Hey guys, so this week we're going to be taking you through a little build of this little keepsake box here. The main components of this beautiful little box are a beautiful redgum burl finished lid. The materials are the West Indian cedar, and we have some dovetail joints which we'll step you through, and also making our hidden hinge. So you can see here, just pull that up, all the timber matches there. We'll make our own dowels and make our own pins and make our own hinge. So there we go. We'll step you through the whole process. So it's good morning here at Earl Hill Studios up in Far North Queensland. We're going to get a few things underway here this morning with a series of keepsake boxes. For the actual body of the box, we'll use this West Indian cedar. So we'll probably just resaw all this down and get a couple of boxes out of that. So step you through the whole process of this. In particular, we're looking at the wooden hinge dowels. They're a really lovely hinge, which I do enjoy making. So they come up really nice, and it's just a little bit more effective, I think, than the standard old brass hinge. So we'll get things underway, and we'll step you through it. I've got this dialed in already. Just I get 17 mil each side. I only need 15 mil for the thickness of the wood. Here we go. Lovely piece of timber there. So that went through the bandsaw really nicely. You can see there. But we'll process this through the thickness, and joint it all up, make it nice. All right. So with the boards now thickness up, come in around 14 millimeters. We'll just get some nice square edges on there, and using the little drawing there, it's what's called the golden proportions of box making. So it just gives you a nice proportional dimension box. So we've got the squaring jig crosscut set up, so I'll just tidy all these up. And all right, so got all our grain laid out here. We've indicated which side's which here, so B, B, A, C, C, D, D. So that means we'll just be able to put it back together in order. But back in the day, we would have done some hand-cut joinery with and this is what makes the boxes so special. Just a lovely, beautiful dovetail joint on there. We'll just highlight the whole box, along with a unique lid. So we'll get around to that shortly. But first of all, I want to just take you through the whole step of the dovetailing process. So these days we cheat a little bit, and we've got the dovetail cutter. So I've got my dovetail router bit mounted, and then we just take each individual bit. We've got marked there which side goes in. So face side, I don't know whether you can see that. But so then we'll just line up a nice convenient type of fitting, and away we go. That's the dovetails done. Next, so we'll do both ends. We don't need to go through the whole lot. I'll just show you the pins side of it. But yeah, so I've got two boxes to make. So we're going to do both at one hit. So we'll do those all together. We won't bother showing you all of that. But there you go. So now, of course, we change over the cutter to a straight bit and use the other side of the jig, and that'll give us our fittings for the pins. What we need to do now is just get inside here with a router bit, and we'll just rebate a dado in there for our floor, for the floor of the box. Alrighty. So I've got my boxes glued up. I'm just taking those clamps out right now. Got the floor in. It's all good. But I pulled out a piece of old redgum burl here, and I thought that might be ideal just to make the lids with these. They'll be really nice and effective wood grain. It'll come up beautifully with a bit of shellac. So just got to cut them down to size. Probably take a little bit of thickness off them all, just to get them a bit more uniform, a little bit more nice. So yeah, I might have to resaw that. That's a bit of a tough gig on this really hard wood. Here we go. So this morning we'll make a bit more progress in our boxes. Last few days we've just had to clean up these pieces of old mulga which I wanted to use for the lids. Just put some water on there just to water pop that, so you can see the grain's going to pop out there nicely. So the dovetail's in. I've got these glued on now. They're right. So we've got to basically get these on the big sander here today, and we'll tidy up all the edges all around here, especially where the dovetails pop through. This is also cut a bit oversized, so we'll have to shave that all up. We'll get that nice and square and flat. Okay, so we've sanded off the sides there, just got everything nice and flush. As you can see there, it's come up really nice. Just show you that joint there. Just show you that. Nice pretty little joint there, that dovetail. So now I want to get some roundovers on all the edges. Roundover. Still got a little bit of patching up to do here. A couple of small defects in that timber top. That won't take much, a little bit of glue in there, a little bit of coloured CA glue. We want to get a nice little roundover on these edges here. Just gives us a nice soft feel. Just pretties that all up a bit. On the back here, I'm just going to rebate in along here, so we'll just have 4 feet on the table, and that will make it sit nice and tidy. I've got my router set up here, all good to go. We'll just take 2 cuts through the whole lot, so we'll get that going. So you can see there we've got starting to get a nice joint on there. I was a little worried about the mulga here just breaking out or what have you, but it seems to be okay. That's forming a nice round over there. That'll all look Mickey Mouse once it's all complete. So I've got the 2 boxes to do. I'll probably do a smaller round over in this box, and for the bigger box I might just choose a bigger round over again, just to, like I say, it just softens up the whole deal, makes it look really nice. So next thing we've got to do is cut through the box to make the lid, of course. So I have looked at everything and where we're going to go, and I'm thinking we might just cut directly through that dovetail there, that pin. That's just a nice cut through there, so we'll be putting a wooden hinge through here. So that's just got to line up with a nice blank grain there. Alright, so we've set our height of to just protrude above the thickness of the timber. This is an original offcut, so we know that timber there is only just going to flow through. That'll allow us to manage that cut. Just lock that down, locked in. Alright, so we're right on line there. Here we go. It's a little daunting making those first cuts, but never mind, here we go. Now, this last one is a little tricky because you really need to just hold that open there nicely so it doesn't all kick back. And voila, we have our box. So there we are, we have our box opened up. Good. So the wooden hinges are made from self-made in the same material. We need to use the same material to hide the joint. So we'll do the best we can. We've put this one through my little jig here. You might be able to see on there, there's a 12 mil, and we just run it through there with the drill bit. I'll just try and show you there. I've already made this one. So pretty much we just run that through. That just shapes the hinge nicely. We've done a couple of test cuts on the router with the coving bit, as you can see just through here, and of course some piece. And obviously, just see in there, we've got a nice, we're going to end up, that's going to close up nicely. So I'll take you through the process on the coving bit. So in order to get the really nice, clean, crisp joint on the hinge, I'm going to cut 5 bits of dowel, and the idea being to get it really nice and neat. I'm just going to cut it flush on the block here, which will get us a really nice, neat finish. So even if you've then just got to tidy it with the, that will then get us when these butt up, we will have a beautiful finish there. You might be able to see there, there's nothing in that joint. Perfect. So obviously to get a glue joint on here, we've just marked in here where we're going to put some wax in. So this is a mould release. It's actually for boat building, this stuff, but it's really just mould release. You can use a little bit of wax or whatever it might take, but you really just got to avoid getting glue on the inside of the joint, of each joint. So we just wax that up very carefully, and you can see that in effect, well, glue should not stick to that, even if there is a bit of a leak out. We try and avoid any leak out anyway, but so that's that. And a bit more on these ones. The alternate joint on these particular ones here. Alright, so they should be ready just to throw a bit of glue in there, and we'll put our dowels in, our wooden dowels. That's pretty good. A very nice tight fit there. That one's just a little bit out there. Hopefully that closes up when we do this. Alright, now just get some clamps on that. Oh, come on. Well, we got our glue up done last night, and we have taken the clamps off this first big one. A little bit of creak there, so we might just need a little bit of lubrication on that, that's fine. But basically, there we are, we've got an opening. Now, once we get the back of these hinges planed off, we'll probably be able to get rid of a little bit of the juice, that little bit of resistance there. This is fine. But it's opening to a fantastic angle. That's exactly about where we want it to open to. And so that's great. Very good, very happy with that. Alright, so I've cleaned them up a little bit on the sander. But inside here is quite deep, so I'm going to put a false bottom in there. So first of all, I'll put a nice bit of cloth in there, just to dress it up a little bit. And then we'll get a nice little top section to lift out. Alrighty, so we've got about a third of the hinge protruding there. That's by design, so the pins will show through here, but we're just going to clean that off. The whole idea of that is being a hidden hinge. So let's just get a little block plane here, and we'll just take off a little bit here, a little bit here. Come back that way just to got the grain running both ways there, never mind. Alright, so that's got quite a bit off. Probably just get the rest of it off with the sander here. Alrighty, so on just the last finishing procedure of a little box. I've got a lovely finish already. I've already put a coat of cabinet maker's wax on here, which is really just beeswax. It's a mid sheen. I don't want to get too carried away with this first. These are some of my first work, so I just got to work it out a little bit. But also, I'll just show you here, everything has come up nicely. You could probably use a little tung oil, I suppose, if you wanted to. So I really just apply it with a little bit of white scratch pad, which is scratch proof. Just get that in there, just rub it in nicely. It's you should just rub it off and wipe it on and buff it off. Really easy finish. Because these things are small, you don't really need the hard wax, or that will take, you need to brush on really, just for the expediency. But we'll just get a coat of that on in here. I think 2 coats will be enough, to be honest. I've actually shellacked this first up, and I didn't like it. It turned really orange, so I sanded it right back. Shellac is not real good for this when you want a natural colour finish. It's got a little bit of stain in it. So there we are. The only thing we need to do now, once this is finished, we'll just put a couple of little magnets in here. So we've got one of our first few Dovetail keepsake boxes completed here. You can see we've got a beautiful redgum burl finished top. We've got some beautiful dovetail joints there, which you probably see. The finish is in just a beeswax, a nice little handle here, and of course that's a little deep, so we'll put a little tray in there, just a little tray with a hidden bottom. It's not there, so you can able to slide around in there. So we'll be making a series of these and taking them to the Youngaborough markets in a couple of weeks' time. Got a few more to do. I've got some different joints, different joinery, and some more of this beautiful redgum burl to finish up. But that's it. We are done, and I'm really happy with it.